The European Court of Human Rights (ECHR) ruled on Wednesday that Russia was responsible for shooting down Malaysia Airlines Flight MH17 over eastern Ukraine in 2014, killing all 298 people on board. The verdict was part of a broader judgment finding Russia guilty of multiple human rights violations in Ukraine, including war crimes committed after its full-scale invasion in 2022. The court said MH17, a Boeing 777 en route from Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur, was brought down on July 17, 2014, by a Russian-made Buk missile launched from territory held by pro-Moscow separatists. Court President Mattias Guyomar stated the evidence suggested the missile was intentionally fired at the aircraft, likely under the mistaken belief that it was a military target. The judges also condemned Russia for failing to investigate the tragedy properly, saying its denial and inaction violated international law and worsened the suffering of victims' families, according to a report by news agency AP. The United Nations aviation body had previously concluded in May that Russia was responsible for the attack. The 501-page ruling includes judgments on 3 additional cases brought by Ukraine and the Netherlands, accusing Russia of war crimes and widespread abuses. The court found Russia forces guilty of murder, torture, rape, destruction of civilian infrastructure, and the abduction of Ukrainian children during and after the 2022 invasion. Quote, Russian forces breached international humanitarian law, Guyomar said. He added that the attacks on civilians had caused fear and terror, and the use of sexual violence amounted to torture. Quote, the use of rape as a weapon of war is an act of extreme atrocity, he said, citing it as a deliberate strategy to break Ukrainian morale. The court also ruled that Russia's refusal to take part in the proceedings violated the European Convention on Human Rights, which underpins the ECHR's authority. Although Russia was expelled from the Council of Europe in 2022 following its invasion of Ukraine, the court retains jurisdiction over violations committed prior to its removal. The ECHR will decide on financial compensation later, though with Russia's non-cooperation, the enforcement of any damages remains uncertain. In response to the verdict, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said Moscow would not recognize the ruling, calling it void. Ukraine, meanwhile, described the ruling as historic and unprecedented, calling it a clear legal victory.